Good Friday evening and welcome to the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and not a bad day today. A few clouds this morning, then things cleared out somewhat by noontime, but boy, one thing we definitely noticed today, much warmer temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 40s, even to around 50 around parts of north central Washington. This beautiful view of the Wenatchee Valley from our Omi Garden Sky-Fi Tower camera. And you can see some of those clouds hanging around this afternoon, but all in all, not a bad day. And here's how our weekend shapes up as we move forward. Cooler temperatures this weekend. Some locations in north central Washington only in the upper 30s for highs this weekend. I think we'll be in the low 40s here in the Wenatchee Valley under mostly sunny skies. We'll see some fog as well develop, especially Saturday night and into early Sunday morning. And we do have a burn ban that will take effect tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Air stagnation, a definite possibility as we make our way through the weekend. Much more on your forecast and a quick peek at your Thanksgiving Day forecast as well a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Grant County Sheriff's Department and the Royal City Police Department are looking for two men suspected in the shooting of a Royal City man on Wednesday night. Douglas County Fire District 4's proposed tax levy is 10 votes short of passing, with just over 1,400 ballots left to count. And the Wenatchee School Board has decided to change the process it will use in hiring a new superintendent. But first, we begin tonight. King County search and rescue crews recovered the body of a man from the Skycomish River in the Stevens Pass area earlier this week. The 50-year-old victim apparently slipped and fell into the river while visiting Deception Falls with his family and a church group. The King County Sheriff's Office reports the man had separated from the larger group to get a closer look at the falls. His family went to look for him, and when he didn't return, and reportedly found his hat and jacket snagged on a tree branch about 100 feet downriver from the falls. Search crews were unable to locate him until Wednesday. The Sheriff's Office described the death as a tragic accident. Well, the Grant County Sheriff's Department and the Royal City Police Department are looking for two men suspected in the shooting of a Royal City man Wednesday night. Police arrived at a residence in Royal City and found a 44-year-old resident had been shot several times. He was transported to Samaritan Hospital where he's being treated for his injuries. Police are looking for brothers Jonathan and Jesus Torres in connection with that shooting. The men could possibly be traveling in a dark-colored Lexus sedan. The two brothers were also charged in a 2017 shooting in Moses Lake and were later found not guilty. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of the Torres brothers are asked to call Royal City Police at 509-346-2212. In other news, Douglas County Fire District 4's proposed tax levy is 10 votes short of passing, with just over 1,400 ballots left to count. Orondo fire officials are hopeful the final ballot count scheduled for later this afternoon will put them over the simple majority approval required for passage. The measure calls for a 30-cent increase in property taxes to generate about $550,000 a year. The revenue would be used to upgrade aging fire trucks, equipment, as well as building 2 new fire stations. Well, the Wenatchee School Board has decided to change the process it will use in hiring a new superintendent. Instead of a closed hiring process, it will now be open. Director of Communications Diana Haglund explains what that will mean.
Initially, our board decided that they wanted to do a closed search at the recommendation of our search consultants, HYA. And the reason behind doing a closed search is really to entice high-quality candidates to come. It's a very kind of private, confidential process. For a seated superintendent, from what we understand, it can be a little bit of a risk for them to put themselves out there early on in that process and to have their name released. So the board had decided that they wanted to be respectful of that confidential process and to really make sure we got a high quality pool of candidates through that closed process, and that once we got to a point where we got down to our final 3, that they would then open that up. But we wouldn't have the level of community engagement throughout the entire process, but early on, and that's where some of our surveys and our stakeholder groups came in, but it would be closed towards the end until we got down to those final 3. But what we heard loud and clear from our community, from a variety of stakeholders, including students and staff, was it is so critical that they stay involved and engaged in this process throughout. And so at our last board meeting, HYA decided to make a recommendation, a strong recommendation to the board that they perhaps look at opening that up and really continuing to engage the community in the search process and allow more of an open style of interview so that we have some level of community engagement. And we don't quite know what that's going to look like. That'll be determined at our board meeting on December 4th, I believe. And so we'll have a better understanding of what community engagement is going to look like, if that's sitting in on interviews or what level of involvement that'll be.
Longtime Superintendent Brian Flonis announced his retirement earlier this year. Coming up next, the holiday season officially kicks off this weekend in Wenatchee with the annual Festival of Trees celebration. It's time once again for the annual Night in a Box event sponsored by the Wenatchee Lighthouse Christian Ministries. And a vote is scheduled today in the U.S. House of Representatives to take gray wolves off the federal endangered species list. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the Ncwlife Evening News.
Sir, I pulled you over today to ask you one thing. Is it true that Apple Valley Honda has a free lifetime warranty on every new Honda?
Officer, I'm glad you asked. Our lifetime warranty comes free on all of our new Hondas. That means you won't have to pay a dime for any major expenses. That could save you thousands. And no, you do not have to service with us. It's a great peace of mind, officer.
Wow, my wife and I have wanted the new Accord. We'll see you this weekend.
Hey everyone, so today I'm tackling medical assistant ninja, trying to get that next level career. Man, this dead-end job is holding me back. Decision time, I'm going charter college. Now I'm a medical assistant student. Rocking it? Yeah, earned the President's Award. Score! Took my career to the next level. Hey, I can level up to medical assistant ninja, so can you. Get on it.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back. In another news, the holiday season officially kicks off this weekend in Wenatchee with the annual Festival of Trees benefit. The event is the largest fundraiser of the year for the New America Performing Arts Center, which also serves as the venue. The weekend event is highlighted by Saturday's gala, where several professionally decorated Christmas trees will be auctioned off. There's also a silent auction for wreaths and other holiday-themed artwork. It's also time once again for the annual Night in a Box event sponsored by the Wenatchee Lighthouse Christian Ministries. The Wenatchee Night in a Box event is in its 7th year and aims to spearhead community support for the homeless here in the Wenatchee Valley. This year's Night in a Box event is tonight at the parking lot of Encouraging Words Bookstore. Well, a vote is scheduled today in the U.S. House of Representatives to take gray wolves off the federal endangered species list. If it passes, it would also prohibit federal judicial review of the legislation. Bill's sponsors include Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers and Representative Dan Newhouse. They claim wolves have recovered to a point that they no longer need federal protection. Opponents argue that the predator still needs protections and the law would set a dangerous precedent in which politicians make decisions best reserved for scientists. Wolves are protected by the Endangered Species Act in the western 2/3 of the state. The legislation would not impact the majority of wolves that live here in the eastern part of Washington. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. Time now for NCW Life's Megan McPherson to fill us in on some of the events going on this weekend.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. JP Portrait Studio is offering holiday family mini sessions at the Wells House on the Wenatchee Valley College campus now through Saturday. Get your family portraits taken in this beautifully restored historic home. You will receive 5 fully edited, high-resolution images for downloading to print locally, posting online, or printing through a professional lab connected to the online gallery of JP Portrait Studio. Sessions are $185, maximum of 8 people per session. Availability is limited. Event times are online. Wenatchee High School Choral Department presents How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, being performed now through Saturday at the Wenatchee High School. Big business means big laughs in this delightfully clever lampoon of life on the corporate ladder. Join Finch as he rises from lowly window washer to high-powered executive, tackling such dangers as backstabbing colleagues, office parties, caffeine addiction, and of course, true love. It is a delightful musical satire packed with memorable songs and high-energy musical numbers that you don't want to miss. Tickets are available in advance at numericapac.org or at the door at Wenatchee High School on show day. Full Circle Theater Company presents The Hound of the Baskervilles, being performed this Friday and Saturday at the Riverside Playhouse. Powers of evil exalted Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson must wend their way through the realm of the supernatural, meeting eccentric characters, frisky sheep, oozy moorland mud, and quite a scary pooch along the way. Who knows, perhaps there may be new love as well. Come for an evening of laughs and chills. Get your tickets at numericapac.org. Pybus Public Market is hosting their annual Holiday Artisan Fair in the main concourse and the Local Tel Event Center on Saturday from 9 to 4. It will feature over 40 local and regional vendors including crafts, holiday gifts, decor, jewelry, art, and more, and will be free for the public to attend. On top of all of the wonderful shopping, there will be giveaways and a photo booth with Thanksgiving and Christmas props. And finally, Kashmir Community Concerts invites you to come in out of the cold to the warmth and excitement of the on-fire sounds of Whiskey Deaf this Saturday night at 7 p.m. at the Kashmir Riverside Center. Whiskey Deaf plays a lively mix of lesser-known traditional bluegrass, old-time, and early country tunes and brings together a unique blend of styles and talents. The cost is $3 at the door and a pass the hat for musicians with a suggested donation of $8 to $11. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. But before we get into those details, let's take a look outside our weather window. And this is what it looked like this afternoon. Basically some clouds hanging around. We were very cloudy to start our day and then clearing up a little bit by noon, but the clouds still did hang around, but awfully nice temperatures out there as we take a look at this beautiful shot from our Omi Garden Sky-Fi Tower camera provided by Localtel. And temperatures today, warmer than we've seen. Boy, after a cold start to the week where temperatures were only in the low 30s, today 48 degrees, which is above our 43 where we should be for this time of year. Also an awfully nice overnight low. I'm sure you noticed that as you made your morning commute this morning. 38, 31 is where we should be for our normal low. Record high on this date set back in 2010 at 56 degrees. Our record low just a few years later in 2014 at a very chilly 17 degrees. We did pick up a trace of precipitation overnight. Very light misty rain. I'm sure you noticed the wet roadways this morning, but it really didn't amount to a whole lot of rain. Sunrise this morning was at 7:07 and the sun set this afternoon at 4:24. Let's put that surface loop in motion and go all the way up into Thanksgiving Day. A big area of high pressure in a dome of a ridge right now of high pressure, I should say, is in control. It will move in Saturday. The dark gray area is a little bit of fog that we expect to build up. That will be late Saturday into Saturday night, and that could make for a foggy morning start to our Sunday. It will be a little bit cooler too because funneling down through this ridge, cold Canadian air. So temperatures will struggle to get above 40 on Saturday, Sunday, and once again into Monday. Even though we will see sunny skies on Monday, it will be a cool one to start our Thanksgiving week with once again highs in the low 40s. A mostly sunny start to our Tuesday will give way to mostly cloudy skies late in the day ahead of a very, very large storm system that will begin to bring rain showers into western Washington Tuesday night. By Wednesday afternoon, that will push eastward, and we're right there, folks. So I think we could see a rain-snow mix possibly Wednesday night, a 20% chance of that. There's our big storm, and by Thanksgiving Day, it will come just off the coast of Oregon. It will bring some precipitation up our way, a 20% chance of rain showers late. And then I'll tell you what, Black Friday, the following Saturday and Sunday, it looks very wet here in the Wenatchee Valley. We'll have more on that when we talk again about weather on Monday. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. Tonight, we'll drop down to 31 degrees after a high, as I mentioned today, in the upper 40s. Not so warm tomorrow, though. 43 for our high Saturday. It will be sunny, also sunny on Sunday after a little bit of morning fog, and only 42 for our high temperature. We'll stay at about 41 on both Monday and Tuesday. Both of those temperatures below where we should be for this time of year. Increasing clouds Tuesday, and then Wednesday, there's that chance for rain, a 20% on Wednesday, and then on Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, once again, mostly cloudy and cool with a 20% chance of rain, and that will go up as we move past Thursday into our Thanksgiving weekend. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the Ncwlife Evening News continues right after this.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solely on Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including Ncwlife, your local TV channel. Give Soleon Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
And now it's a sports update on the Ncwlife channel.
And a happy finally Friday. The Seahawks kept their postseason hopes alive by coming from behind to beat the Green Bay Packers last night at CenturyLink Field, 27-24 the final. Russell Wilson found Ed Dixon on a 15-yard touchdown pass with 5:08 to play for the game winner. Seahawks defense sacked Aaron Rodgers 5 times on the night and pestered him enough on the Packers' final drive to cause 2 incomplete passes, including what proved to be Green Bay's final offensive play on a 3rd and 2. Seattle got off to a miserable start last night, fumbling on the first play that allowed the Packers to get the early lead. Coach Pete Carroll was relieved to get the win and thanked the fans for not giving up.
Really happy about this win for our guys, for all of us, for the 12s that were waiting for us. It took us a long time to get going in the first half. We just didn't play well at all. But it does show you that that doesn't decide the game. Our guys went in at halftime. We made a few adjustments. The defense put some stuff together that has turned the game around really by the stops they kept getting and just played entirely different football for us. And it was just a great turnaround.
Were you yelling at your TV in the first half? I was. Russell Wilson completed 21 of 31 passes for 225 yards and a couple of touchdowns after a very slow start. He says playing close games down the stretch is nothing new for this team.
We've been through the fire this season. We've had some amazing games against some tough teams and back and forth. Rams last week, Rams twice this year, down to the wire. Chargers, we've had some amazing games, going back and forth. And we're a young team, but a team that has great faith in what we're doing, and we're completely together in what we're trying to do. So we just stayed the course, and we were able to be clutch at the end of the game. We were able to get the first down. I kept telling the guys in the huddle, hey, if we get a couple first downs, this game's over. They don't have any more timeouts. And we were able to run over there and end up sliding. They called that timeout, so they didn't have any more timeouts with 3 minutes to go. So I think for us, we just wanted to get first downs, and then sure enough, we were able to. Guys made some great runs off the line, blocked up, did a tremendous job, and closed out the game.
Nice camo gear there on Salute to Service night. Coach Carroll says they've worked hard over the years to build a never-give-up attitude.
I would like to think that we've instilled a belief that men ain't ever over, and that they'll keep hanging. And we have for a long time. There's a lot of games on the record there. It's hard to beat us, when we just keep battling. And scores are, even when we lose games that we think we should have won, they're always close. And we've been really good at that for a long time. I think the belief is deep, and that's what sustains you, where you keep thinking something good's going to come if you just keep working. And we've been preaching that for years, and I think it's in the mentality.
Seattle improved to 5-5 with a win. They're off until November 25th when they'll travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Well, from bowling to bowling, as we look at the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from last night, Wenatchee Panther bowlers traveled to Davis yesterday, picked up a 4-zip win by a margin of 632 pins. High scores went to Emily Groff with a 218, Jessica Holbrook with a 210 and 202, Alicia Ferguson and Hannah Johnson each with a 172. Well, 2 local youth football teams have a chance to play on the red carpet tomorrow in Cheney with a lot on the line. I got a chance to go out to practice last night.
Down, set, hit.
You're watching our local Pop Warner football team, the Wenatchee Valley Rams green, practice under the lights at Liebhoff Field in preparation for their regional championship game tomorrow on the Red Inferno at Eastern Washington University. These are 9, 10, and 11-year-olds who love playing tackle football.
If anybody's thinking about putting kids in football, definitely do it because it's like the best sport. It's like my favorite sport.
Okay. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think kids should be able to play tackle football.
Yeah.
It's a safe environment.
That's Mason Galvin and Brady Paz. They're 2 of 27 players on the junior Pee Wee team that will face Pacifico out of California for the title and a shot at going to the Pop Warner Super Bowl in Orlando, Florida. So how cool would this be if you guys are able to get that win on Saturday and get a chance to go to
I actually might start crying. It's going to be so much fun.
So how do you not get super oversight thinking about that's what's on the line instead of just playing the game?
We use our excitement against the team and we just play like we do and
channel
hopefully
that
win.
energy.
Yeah.
On the other end of the field practicing last night were the Wenatchee Valley Rams Black, the 7, 8, and 9-year-old Pop Warner team. They'll be playing for the league championship Saturday, also on the red carpet. I spoke with running back Jordan Balb and quarterback Jackson Mitchell.
Is to get the snap and hand it off to the running back or pass it to the receivers that are out there.
Do you know how many yards you have rushing this season so far?
Maybe about 700, 600.
Holy cow, you're kidding. Wow, what's your longest touchdown run?
About 80, 75 yards.
Holy cow. Well, that's got to be some good blocking, or is it just you with moves?
It's my whole team.
Your whole team? Okay. So, yeah, QB, let's talk about your offensive line.
My offensive line is great, and the whole team is really great on the offensive line. It opens a big hole every time we run the middle and stuff like that.
So how stoked will you be if you guys win the championship?
I'll be really stoked.
Really excited? Do you guys get a, throw the water tank on the coach or something like that? Or?
No.
All right, there you go. Rams are going to do it this Saturday.
There you go. Best of luck to the Rams in Cheney. Wenatchee Wild continue their Canadian road trip tonight in Trail after knocking off Merritt on Wednesday. The Wild will go for a 5th consecutive win against the Smoke Eaters tonight at 7. They'll be in Salmon Arm to take on the Silverbacks tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. College football this weekend actually begins tonight. The Eastern Eagles on the road at Portland State, 7:05 tonight. Coming up tomorrow, number 18 Washington hosts Oregon State at 1:30 on the Pac-12 network. Then number 8 Washington State takes on Arizona at March Stadium at 7:30. That game can be seen on ESPN. That's sports. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Well, we mentioned it briefly during the weather forecast, but I do want to remind you that there is a ban on outdoor burning and the use of uncertified stoves and fireplaces, which begins at 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's for Chelan, Douglas, Kittitas, Klickitat, and Okanagan counties due to poor air quality in the region. Restrictions on burning will continue until further notice. The Washington Department of Ecology is calling the ban because stagnant conditions are predicted to return in these counties after a brief break, putting the communities at risk for unhealthy levels of air pollution. Under a Stage 1 ban, all outdoor burning is prohibited, including residential, agricultural, and forest burning. Use of uncertified wood stoves, fireplaces, inserts, and other uncertified wood burning devices are prohibited unless they are a home's only adequate source of heat. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with your host, Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from Localtel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV Set Free. Enjoy the extra value Localtel delivers with TV everywhere. Visit localtel.net and sign up today.
The NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With solely on cable TV advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solely On Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solely On Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
I am Dan Koontz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Those actresses from the 70s that I had a huge crush on: Lindsay Wagner, Jane Russell, Meryl Streep, Barbara Bush. Wanted to wish her a happy birthday. It gave me an excuse to throw her picture up on my show. Exclusive distributors of Life Water, now available in the shatterproof plastic bottle.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCW Life Channel.
I'm Jay Carone, and you're watching the NCW Life Channel.